Thank you for coming to my channel once again. Today I'm going to talk about accidental poisoning. In children, that means that poison that has happened as an accident. The reason it's important that I talk about it is because, unfortunately, accidental poisoning is very common among children, especially children who are about 1 to 3 years, the toddlers. This is because these children are very inquisitive. They want to do everything, go everywhere, climb everything, open anything, taste anything, whatever they find, they put in their mouths. So accidental poisoning is very common amongst them. Another reason why it's very common is that they don't appreciate danger. They don't know what is dangerous. They don't know what could kill them or what could harm them. And one of the things that we do that puts these children at risk of accidental poisoning is putting things that are poisonous into containers that are not meant to contain poison. So these children see us drink water from bottles, and then they know that a bottle is supposed to be drunk. Sometimes some parents put poisonous things in water bottles. The child just reaches for it and takes a gulp. They don't have time to smell it, to look at it, to see does it look like water. Once they take it, they just drink it. So that is one of the things that we should not do at home. Another thing that puts them at risk is keeping things that should not be within their reach. So things like pesticides, weedicides, things that we use to kill maybe cockroaches and rodents. When we keep them at risk of these children, it also puts them at risk of accidental poisoning, because like I said, they don't know what is dangerous. They don't know what is a poison and what is not. Whatever they find, they just put it in their mouths. So what are the things that can accidentally poison your child? Alcohol can poison your child. So alcohol that adults have drunk and they leave the remainder in cups or bottles or glasses, and the children reach it, they drink it. Alcohol can poison your child. So if you drink alcohol at home, make sure that when the rest is left, you discard it properly, or you keep it where your child cannot reach. Because you see, as you are drinking, they are watching you. They know that it's supposed to be drunk or it is drunk. Cosmetics like perfumes, powders, foundation, lipstick, whatever. The children see it is colorful, they just take it and they eat it. So that is also something that can poison them. So again, make sure that it's kept out of their reach. And if you have visitors at home, let them also know these things so that they will not put your children at risk. Another thing is, like I've already said, pesticides or weedicides, things that we use to kill or poison insects or rodents or snakes, other reptiles, those sort of things. Those ones are very dangerous. Mosquito coil, battery. Battery is another one. And it really hurts them. It can destroy their esophagus, where they eat through. It can destroy it, cause injury, and cause it to become smaller or closed, or have a stricture and make it difficult for them to eat. And they will need to go through a lot of procedures to be able to correct that. Very expensive procedures, and sometimes they don't even survive. So batteries that are in our remote controls, batteries that are in our cameras, those sort of things, they can also poison your child because they take it and then they just eat it. Medicines that you have either bought over the counter or gotten from the hospital for either yourself or your child, those ones can also poison your child. Because medicine is supposed to be taken in a particular dose, and your child who doesn't know anything, who finds it and is colorful, then just eats it. I've had the experience of seeing children with iron poisoning. So typically those are children living in homes where there are pregnant women who go to antenatal, they give them iron tablets. The child just comes and takes the tablets and swallows so many that can poison the child. Something like sleeping tablets. The child reaches it and just swallows so many, and the child becomes very sleepy. All those things can poison your child. Herbs and herbal medications can also poison your child. So, think about your home. There are so many things that can poison your child. Some of them are not poison in themselves, but once the child takes it in a dose that is not appropriate or is too much, it can poison your child, and it can actually lead to death or severe illness that require admission, sometimes require operations, and so on and so forth. So these are the things that can poison your child. Now, unfortunately, when your child takes a poison or drinks a poison, what can you do, or what should you do? The first thing is that you should know the number of the poison control center in your locality. You can just Google it, store that number on your phone, keep it on the fridge, so that if such a thing happens to you, you immediately know who to call. Then you call the poison control center and they may be able to help you. The next thing is try and rinse the mouth of the child and remove the child's clothing, give the child a quick bath and put on another set of clothing. This is because when children have taken poison, sometimes it still stays in their mouth, and it can still be absorbed. So when you rinse the mouth of the child and the child spits it out, you are removing that continued source of poisoning. And for some of them, like some of the pesticides in the farm, when it gets into contact with the child's skin, it keeps getting absorbed. That is why you need to remove their clothing and give them a bath, and then you remove that source of continued exposure as well. I didn't talk about detergents. Detergents are another thing that can really poison our children. Detergents in the home that we use to scrub our floors, scrub the bathrooms, those ones are very potent poisons as well. And that you are washing and you leave your detergent or your bleach or your any bleaching agent, the child just takes it and drinks. Very, very, very bad disasters happen to children from those ones as well. Anyway, so I was talking about what to do. I said that you should rinse the child's mouth, and then I also said that if it's possible, remove the clothing and give the child a bath, and then take your child to hospital as quickly as you can. And if you are taking your child to hospital, remember to take along the poison that your child has taken or drank or eaten. Just package it nicely so that you don't still have poisoning happening on the way. In the case of things like organophosphates that continue to be absorbed, package it nicely. The reason this is important is because it will help the healthcare workers to decide quickly what to do for your child, because there are some specific poisons that have specific antidotes or have specific things that you would give to neutralize the poison. So once the healthcare workers know what poison it is, it's easy for them to decide what antidote to give to your child. That's why it's important to take it along. And even if it is medicine, take it along. If you have the prescription, all the better, because some of them, in case they are not labeled, then they don't spend time trying to decipher what medication it is. Once you have the prescription, the name is on it, so you take it along to the hospital, and then you get to the hospital as fast as you can. What should you not do? You should not try to induce vomiting in your child when your child accidentally poisons himself. This is why. I know it sounds reasonable that something has gone into the child's stomach, let the child bring it out because it's poison. It sounds reasonable, but it is not what you should do. The reason is that sometimes when you force the child to vomit out or to bring out what the child has taken, the act of bringing it up is still in the digestive tract. So it leads to more poisoning for the child because it will still be more absorbed. And even more dangerous is the fact that this thing that the child is vomiting can go the wrong way. It can go into the child's airway and end up in the lungs. And that can cause severe pneumonia and can lead to loss of life for your child. So don't try and induce vomiting. Just get to the hospital as fast as possible. If it is something that should come out of the child's stomach, the hospital workers have a way of doing it. They will pass a tube down and remove it, and then even wash the stomach of your baby. So don't try and induce vomiting. You are wasting time, and you are putting your child at risk of further poisoning, and you are putting your child at risk of those things ending up in the child's lung when they accidentally end up in the airway. So don't do that. Then another thing you shouldn't do, that I've said already, don't put poisonous substances into containers of drinks, soft drinks and water. Don't do that. And definitely keep all things that are hazardous out of reach of children. Medicines, poisons, anything that is hazardous, keep it out of reach of children. Don't just put it where they can see it but it's high up, because these children, they are very inquisitive. They will mount a stool or something and then they will reach it and get to it. So keep it out of reach. Keep it where they cannot reach and keep it where they cannot even see. You may need to have a lock. You lock it and you keep the key only where you can reach it. And then some of the medicines, or medicines in general, they are supposed to be put in child-proof containers. So there are these bottles of medicine that you will need to twist in a certain way to be able to open it. And small children don't have that skill. So that's the kind of medicine that you should buy. Anytime you're buying medicine, just ask whether that one is available. The one that you need to twist the cap, you press on it and you twist it in a particular way before it's open, the child-proof bottles. So it's better to go for those ones, because that one, even if you forget and the children reach it, they will not be able to open it. So what has been your experience? Have you ever had a child who got poisoned, unfortunately? What poison did the child take? Or if it's a friend's child, a neighbor's child, or a relation, can you share with us? Because we just want to learn. What did you do, or what did you not do? Thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video, to share it, to subscribe. And I always welcome your questions and comments. Thank you. Bye-bye.